Welcome back to the Fire Emblem Gauntlet, where we take beloved characters and put them up against every class in the game until they perish. Today our champion is the classic meme unit Sophia, who has been requested by a bunch of people, and some of those people are on screen now, so make sure you put your suggestions in the comments on this video for who you would like to see run the Gauntlet next. If you don't already know how this series works, check out the playlist in the description to see the setup explained, but we're just going to start off as always with our Iron Weapon tier run for Sophia, and then we're going to get into the fun run afterwards. So what does a level 20 Sophia look like? Well, here are her average stats at level 20. She has got 26 HP, 16 magic, 10 skill, 10 speed, 7 luck, 5 defense, and 18 resistance, which is absolutely amazing. She's going to be great against the magical enemies in the Gauntlet. I'm not sure whether she's going to make it to any of them. Maybe the monk. She can probably do quite well against that. If I forecast the battle against the... Yeah, that's actually not great. She takes a decent amount of damage from the thief, and her hit rates aren't incredible, so we're just going to have to see how this goes. 65 does hit, thankfully, and then in theory, we might be able to get the win on counter here and only take 5 damage, which would be nice. There we go, beautiful. That honestly could have gone worse. We're going to see how we do against the soldier. Do we have any hope of one rounding? We do! Oh, that's very nice to see. At least we're not burning through the vulneraries right in the first couple of rooms at least, but we are probably going to be using them quite quickly because she is a fairly frail unit. Ouch, that is quite a lot of damage to Sophia there. Does she double? She doesn't, but it doesn't matter. She's going to be able to come in here and finish him off quite easily. And then we are going to have to start using vulneraries. Let's see what we do against the peg. Oh dear. I hope we would kill in 2 there, but we don't. We are going to have to keep burning vulneraries here. And then hopefully... The thing is, with her hit rates actually being fairly low, we are going to have to take some punts here. We could potentially miss this, and then she is in death range. No, thankfully we're good. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get the walking animations in correctly, because I did import them, but maybe I didn't hit right to ROM for some reason. Anyway, this is where the matchups finally get good for Sophia. She has got 0 damage taken against the monk here, although that 1% crit is real scary. The 66% is not brilliant, but it doesn't matter. She can take as many turns as she needs to beat this enemy. I don't think we're getting particularly far with Sophia. She was suggested quite a lot in response to me asking for weaker units. She has got a reputation as being a bit of a meme unit and pretty weak unit in FE6. So I think this is going to be a pretty expected showing here. I don't think it's going to be too much of a surprise. She's probably... I don't think she'll get past the midpoint. Honestly, she could get doubled here. Oh, God. Huh. That really wasn't expected. Even if she went in on full health, she got 1 rounded. She has 26 HP. That was a lot quicker than I was expecting. Well, that's the normal run over. I guess we'll get into the fun run. I didn't actually get the opportunity to say, but her speed isn't even actually 10. She has a constitution of 3, and the weight of flux in FE8 that we're running this on is 8. So she's getting slowed down by 5. So it was no wonder that she got doubled by the Nomad. The 1 rounding still kind of surprised me, but what we're going to do for the fun run, there's 2 things. First thing I've done is to give Flux its FE6 stats that she would normally get to use in the game. She has now got 1 additional might on her tome and 3 less weight on it, so she's not going to be slowed down as much, and she will actually hit slightly harder. The other thing, Sophia, the whole point of her in FE6 is just to pick up that guiding ring and then get on the bench, so that's exactly what we've done. So Sophia's going to get her guiding ring that she has selfishly kept to herself rather than giving it to someone better, and she's going to turn into a druid with... Oh. Huh? Okay, I don't know why the promotion didn't work, so I've just made her be a druid from the start, and she's gotten the proper bonuses now. So she now has 28 HP, 20 magic, 12 skill, 13 speed, 7 luck, 7 defense, and 20 resistance. So she's in a bit of a better situation. She's also got 4 con using a 5 weight tome, so she's only getting slowed down by 1. So actually having 12 speed for a change should make her way, way better. She doesn't quite one-shot the thief, but she is hitting like a... Never mind. She would be hitting like a truck if she could actually aim. So she has got, thankfully, much better defense now against this thief, but she has also just got an absolute truckload of damage that hopefully should get her a little bit further through, and hopefully the slightly reduced squishiness means that she can stand a whole round of combat and probably not get doubled anymore by enemies like the Nomad. So Sophia's fun run should be a lot more successful than the base level run. That was pretty appalling. Archer up next, shouldn't hit too hard. 11's still actually fairly chunky. 7 defense isn't very high, it's just better than 5, that's all. She is probably still going to go through vulneraries relatively quickly, but she's probably got a decent shot of getting through some of the mid enemies here at least. 10 damage is much better off of the peg. And she does double, which is nice. Go on, Sophia. Look at her actually doing stuff. That's crazy. Anyway, we have now got the monk, which should be hitting still for 0 damage, which is nice. And we're going to deal with this pretty quickly. Still doubling the monk as well, which is actually pretty good. So the monk really didn't put up a fight. We are now going to go against that nomad that killed us the first time around. We are down to 10 damage this time, and no longer getting doubled. So we've gotten past the sticky enemy that killed us the first time around. We now have got the little run of axe fighters, which are going to hit us very hard. But we might be able to do... Oh, go on, Sophia. I did not expect that at all. I didn't think one rounding was actually going to be on the cards. I thought these guys would be fast enough that it wouldn't happen. So yeah, that's really nice. Sophia is a unit that if you give her enough levels and promote her and stuff, she does become fairly decent. I would still much prefer to use pretty much any other magic user in the game over Sophia, but she is quite a fun little training project if you're interested in that. I think she's the first unit that's actually been able to one round the axe fighters at 2 range and not even had to bother with trying to dodge. That was actually the best showing from any unit against the axe fighters, I think. We've had sword units that haven't been touched because of their dodge rates, but I've not had any unit be able to one round at 2 range, so that is pretty solid. Okay, she doesn't get doubled by the Myrmidon, which is very nice, means she can get the kill at 2 range, get the steel axe, the really important. You know what, let's keep the axes, they're more important. Let's get rid of the iron, get rid of the guiding ring. So yeah, once you get Sophia to the point she has here in the gauntlet, she's actually going to be a very good unit, but it is that very difficult training period where she joins so late that makes her a little bit just say difficult to use in FE6. She tends to not be most people's first port of call for a magic unit. Sophia is demolishing these units now, which is a complete contrast to how she was doing earlier on. She's not going to double the mercenary, but she is still hitting for insane amounts of damage, which means that she should be able to, if she doesn't miss like she just did then, she should be able to kill most of these units in 2 hits, which is very nice. She is actually going to get up to the magic enemies, which I didn't think she had it in her, to be honest. We're going to see how she does against the mage. She should absolutely flatten him if my predictions are correct. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was hoping for. So Sophia has actually got a shot of completing this. She is going to go up against the shaman and take... Oh, never mind, she's going to dodge. I was going to say she'll take 1 singular point of damage, which is honestly phenomenal. She has got such high resistance that the magical enemies were never going to pose any kind of threat to her at all. A wyvern, on the other hand, is going to hit very hard, but she's going to... Oh god, she doubles. Go on, Sophia. That's actually amazing. So Sophia, in her vanilla run, did absolutely horrifically, but in the fun run with the lower weight tome and all of her promo bonuses from the guiding ring she's found in the desert, she's actually made it to the end with vulneraries to spare, which is ludicrous. Oh my god, and she actually does decent damage. Dang, okay, well we'll wait. She doesn't get doubled, so she's not going to 1 round. There we go, nice. And she hits, dang. I think that potentially at this point she's all... Wait, hold on. 23. Annoyingly, that vulnerary won't get her up high enough to survive another hit, so we're just going to attack. But I think that 7 damage alone has put her right up there. 14, dang! That's probably the highest damage output we've had from a single unit in the gauntlet. Wow. That was actually pretty solid. We still haven't got a unit that's defeated the child, but she did really well. So if we look at the scoreboard, she does actually come in last place with 5 points below Dorcas. I didn't think anybody would be doing worse than Dorcas did. His showing was abysmal, but the Nomad managed to absolutely stomp her. So for her basic score, she is bottom of the rung, but she did manage to get 16 wins and technically the most damage on the child out of any unit we've put in here so far. So she's simultaneously the worst and best unit that we've had in the gauntlet. We do now have Patreon up and running, and if you guys haven't seen the video explaining how all of that works, the top 2 tiers on Patreon will get a custom video in the gauntlet series for a GBA character of their choice. We're still going to be doing the suggestions from you guys in the comments though, so please do get your comments down below if you haven't already put them down there for who you want to see run next time. Where do we get some more terrible units units at the bottom end or some better ones. If you have made it this far, then thank you for watching, and a massive thanks to my patrons for helping to make these videos possible, especially my Lord's Cup holder Dark Jaden Panthova and Sonic the Hedgehog, and even more especially my Manakete, Scott's Gaming World, Shadow Eclipse, and Chai Tiefling. If you're still here, you probably would like other videos I've made, so I'll have those links on the screen for you to click on and enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.